Hello, my name is Malusi Moloi. I'm from STADIO. Today I'll be doing my TCA Visual Arts Reflection video. I'll be doing it on my lesson of natural science, where I am going to be teaching about fossils and 3D construction. The visual arts pedagogy that I used was 3D construction. I used visual arts because it's a medium that I am very familiar with and one that I would like to be able to see how I can implement in the classroom of science, because I'm always been someone who loves to integrate science and art, like my role model Leonardo da Vinci. For this arts pedagogy, I applied elements of art such as design and the principles of art such as texture, tone, in order to help the students be able to construct 3D models of African dinosaur fossils. I chose this art form because I feel that 3D constructions, getting some handcrafted work, helps the students to better build those multiple intelligences that we learned about in Gardner's theory. I think that the children will be able to study visual spatial intelligence by being able to model 3D organisms, such as the African dinosaurs they will study in the lesson, and be able to also study and make coelacanth. Coelacanth is a fossil from South Africa. It is known as the living fossil because it is a marine fish that was found, like, underground or in the sea, and it looked like it was still alive. And they called it the living fish. It was one of South Africa's greatest fossils ever found, but there are more that we are going to study. We're going to mainly study about the African dinosaurs, though, and they will make one based on one African dinosaur model that I made. So the value of visual arts in learning, I think that the value that visual arts can have, especially with this topic, is 3D construction and creating in 3D. I think just like if we look back to the Renaissance era and we had Michelangelo sculpting these like masterpiece forms of like David's sculpture and the Pieta, the Madonna sculpture. I think when you look at how they thought about religion and how they wanted to represent it in a physical form, I would like to see how the kids can use science to represent that as a visual form. I think that's valuable for them to understand as we look at from Ewing, who wrote an article in one of our prescribed readings. He talks about people developing empathy and critical thinking. Well, what that helps is people being able to not just make artwork just because it's a task, but trying to develop the meaning behind what they're making and value what they're making. I want my students to understand that as they're gauging with the textures, the design, proportions, how do they use recyclable materials to create something that may look realistic but also has an artistic feel to it. The attention grabber that I used was just displaying my model that I made. I have a picture on my lesson plan. That model is able to allow kids to just visualize as a reference point what their one might look like and how they can implement their own designs, because they won't be making the same dinosaur or the coelacanth like the fish. They'll be making different forms based on images that I give them. But this is also outlined in my lesson plan. My own reflection from doing this lesson plan and this visual reflection is that I'm grateful for being able to study TCA and to understand how to implement arts into the science world. My own lesson reflection, I would like to say that CAPS does help. CAPS is such a great document for me to use as a reference to study this. I used the CAPS document for my lesson plan on visual arts, where I went to the life skills and I went to the science one, and I went to the natural science part of term 4 for grade 5. I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for listening to my video reflection, and hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you.